Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. It's me Dan here today. It's great to be back here making a new video for you guys. Yeah, I'm dead excited to share this with you guys. So what do I want to share today? So today I just want to share how I've learned to deal with anxiety and stress, and how I've learned to deal with the things that it causes in the body and the mind. These things that I'm going to talk about, so I'm not claiming to be a psychiatrist or a doctor. I'm just talking about things that I've learned from other teachers and things that I've applied in my own life and my own practice of meditation. So to start with then, what is anxiety? So for me, if I'd had to define it, I'd say anxiety is a form of stress, and it's that feeling of fear or worry or trembling or just that general dis-ease within your body. So anxiety then, it really ultimately is just an emotion, okay? And for me, it arises in the mind due to some kind of doubt in your mind that can be, mainly uncertainty about the future or something imminent that's about to happen or something that you need to do. This doubtous condition then arises the worry, the fear, the tension and the feelings of agitation. These things then give rise to the feelings in the body. So these emotions then have a direct impact on your body. So that's why, for me, when I talk about the mind and the body, I'd class it as one thing, because they impact each other. Like, they can't really be separated out. This can then manifest in things like overthinking, trouble sleeping, tension, mainly in the chest or the abdomen, which will not feel comfortable and then will lead to you maybe having shortness of breath, increased heart rate. This overthinking then leads you to seek for reassurance by external means, and it can kind of cause you to be fearful of the problem or the person or the event. Therefore, you'll try and avoid them or avoid that situation, and then that'll ultimately kind of lead you to not feel tranquil in your mind, and you kind of feel on edge. So if anxiety arises in the mind because of doubt, then what gives rise to doubt, and what is doubt then? So for me, I'd define doubt as when the mind goes in it's splitting in two different directions. And then because of this, then that's when the doubt arises, and that's where the overthinking comes from, because your mind's almost trying to take multiple paths to try and solve the problem. So therefore, this problem can be solved by having a unified mind, a mind that's not trying to jump in different directions, or that's worried about the future or things that you did in the past. So it's about having confidence with a mind that's focusing in one direction. So then, how do I manage anxiety myself? So for me, the first thing I do is I just slow down. I slow everything right down. Slow my thinking down, slow my breathing down, slow even my movements down, and just really try and focus on relaxing. But we have to learn this like learning a new skill. We have to treat it in the same way. Like, we have to learn to relax and calm our emotions. It's not something that we can just do, it's something that we have to practice. So how to actually relax the body then when you're feeling these kind of stressful emotions or anxiety? You have to first turn your awareness inside your body first. So that's what I call mindfulness. So you have to apply mindfulness to your body. So it's turning your awareness from the outside, turning it to the inside. And then from there, then you can notice the areas of tension in your body, whether it's in your abdomen, in your chest, in your neck, in your face, in your shoulders, here. You've then got to apply your attention to that area of tension and consciously relax it. Relax the mind as well, that's a big one. Then after that, you'll start to feel a sense of slight ease. From here, then I make myself aware that these feelings and these emotions, it's not to be taken personally. It's nothing about it is a personal process, so you can't personalize and attach your identity onto these emotions. I like to think of it as welcoming the anxiety in. Don't try and force it or stop it or block it out, because that won't work. You have to welcome it in first, be aware that it's there, welcome it in. You have to welcome it in almost like you're welcoming these guests into your house. So you're welcoming them with open arms and a smile. Like, don't judge them as bad emotions. Let them stay as long as they may stay, but they won't stay forever. So then by doing this, we've detached ourselves from them. So we've become detached, so we've stopped personalizing these emotions. Now, as we've begun to relax and become more calm and more tranquil in our mind and body, then we can start to really start to look and understand first. That's the first thing, to start to look deeply into this anxiety. What is it and where is it coming from? Notice how it seems intimidating and it seems uncomfortable. Okay? Don't judge it on that, because I like to equate it to when you're looking at a cloud in the sky. From the ground, it appears that it's massive and it's intimidating almost, and it's got the definitive edges about it. But reality is, you can fly straight through it and you can walk straight through it. You know, you'll know that if you've ever been hiking or on a mountain top and you see the cloud coming in, it just goes over you. It doesn't affect you in any way. Just like the clouds as well. There's nothing personal about them. They've got nothing to do with you. This is the depersonalization that I was talking about. Then from here, it's important to realize that this world and this universe, it's not self-centered. It's not self-centered around you or me. Okay? It doesn't make that distinction. And once we've realized that we don't live in a self-centered existence, then we can start to see that we're not the only ones who experience these kind of emotions. It's natural for our minds to conceive of the idea of, yourself or a self. It's just like a survival mechanism that puts you in the world, and you begin to think of yourself as a static being that's not changed. This is the root of the problem. It's the fact that we think of ourselves as a static being, but in reality we're not. But we can't see it, because you can't have something static like that in this existence, in this universe, because everything's in a constant state of change. But just because of our perspective, we can't see it. This idea of ourself that we've created it in our own mind is just ideas that we've become attached to. But it's difficult to see this or understand this if you're not in the right kind of frame of mind, if you're not in a very relaxed, tranquil, open state of mind. So for me, this is where, when I've looked into and reflected onto myself, this is where the anxiety comes from. It's from the idea of yourself. But the beauty of that, like I said, is we can then, instead of having a narrow mind, having a self-centered mind, we can then widen that mind. So we can broaden our mind. So instead of having a narrow mind, thinking about ourselves, having a self-centered existence, we can then begin to broaden our mind and realize that, this world, it's not all about us, and we're not the only ones who inhabit this world. There's other people, there's other beings, that experience this kind of suffering as well. And our behavior directly impacts the people around us. So what I then do from that point, especially if I'm meditating, is then I start to wish these people or these animals that are experiencing maybe the same kind of anxiety that I was just experiencing, which they are definitely out there. Then you can start to have a general sense of goodwill for them people and wish them kindness. Then from there we can start to truly care about the well-being of others, not just about ourselves. And these kind of states of mind, of kindness, of true care, of goodwill, they're very wholesome states of mind. They unify the mind, because it gives you confidence. Because these kind of wholesome states of mind, they're very good. Everyone knows that, everyone knows the goodness in kindness and care and goodwill. So then at that point, then we have to turn our attention inward again and reflect on the state of our own mind and see how good it is and how good that makes you feel and how confident that makes you feel. The reason why this works is because anxiety is a self-centered emotion. So as you then start to broaden your mind and not just only think about yourself, then you start to realize that we're all in the same boat here. Like, just your perspective on how someone else sees you is completely different to how they actually do see you in reality. The idea of ourself, it doesn't exist objectively. It's not in tune with reality, because like I said, your idea of yourself, how you see yourself, you're seeing yourself from a completely different point of view to how other people see you. So you've got to bear that in mind, and you've also got to reflect on this is a universal thing. So it's not just you that might think this way about yourself. Maybe the person that you're intimidated by, or the person that's causing you to have anxiety or to be anxious, or the event, they're kind of all in the same boat as us. And lastly, just want to say, this is something that you have to practice. It's not just kind of like a solution, although it is a solution in a way, but it's not like a quick fix. Like, you have to practice these things. And the more I've practiced, kind of understanding my emotions and reflecting on my own emotions and calming them and becoming more relaxed, the better I've got at them. For me, it's important to remember that we don't just have to accept feeling that way. Like, we don't just have to suffer about this. We have the ability to understand these things as a human. We have the power to gain control over the mind. It can be done. We have to have the view that, we have to have the goal that you can live a happy life. Like, you don't just have to suffer and be miserable, or to have these thoughts of anxiety and stress and worry. Like, there is a way to overcome it. So really, lastly then, with anxiety, you have to face it. So you can't let it overpower you, and it gives you that kind of fear of that you can just kind of freeze sometimes. And the more you freeze, the more you wait, the more fear you have, and the harder it is to come out of that state and feel comfortable again. So we can't block it. We have to try and understand it. That's the key. The key is to try and understand it. So we have to look at, for me, it's 4 things. First, you have to look at what it is, just objectively. What is it? How does it make you feel? And then the second step is you have to look at where, so its origin. Where is it coming from? Like, what kind of situations are making you feel like this? And then number 3 is having the thought that it can be eliminated. It can be alleviated by means of your own mind and understanding. And then number 4 is like kind of the practice of it and the way to do that and to progress towards that. So however painful it might be at first to face it and understand it, that is the best thing to do. Like I was saying about the cloud, don't be intimidated by it. You've got to kind of sit in a quiet room and calm the mind and really understand your own emotion, like you're solving your own problem, because that's what you're doing. It's out of self-care for yourself. And don't try and seek distractions. Don't try and look for external ways to solve this problem, because it's an inner problem. You can't solve it by things like blocking it out or watching TV or trying to forget about it, or using things like alcohol or drugs to try and dull your mind or kind of escape from the reality. And to finish, I want to say you can practice this in your daily life. Like, you don't just have to sit down and meditate in a quiet room. you can be practicing this anywhere, because it's about your mind. Like first, when the anxiety arises, you then have to have the inner awareness of the fact that it is arising. Okay, then because of the certain conditions present and the situation you're in and the state of your mind at that time, then from there notice how it's changing how you feel first after that, and don't judge yourself for it, and don't judge how you feel as bad or weak or not right, or that you're not fitting in with people. From there you have to relax it straight away, and it's like I said, it's a practice. The more you do it, the more automatic it will get, the easier it will get. So you have to be practicing this as much as you can, and have the compassion and kindness to yourself, and give yourself the time and have patience with yourself, in the hope that you will understand this thing like you would teach a kid. You know, you've got to look at it in the same way. Alright guys, thanks for watching. So I really appreciate all the, if you click to watch this video and you stayed to the end, I really appreciate that, and I hope that maybe something that I shared maybe resonated with one of you, or even just one person. If it helped you out and made you more of a calm person, but being able to deal with your own emotions better, then I'm happy for that. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll wrap it up here. So yeah, thank you guys. Take care. See you in the next video.